Beasley Media Group, BMI, and HD Radio present another episode of How I Wrote That Song, where we go behind the scenes with some of the biggest hit songwriters of all time.
Hello there. So this is How I Wrote That Song. We want to thank our sponsors, HD Radio, BMI, and Beasley Media Group. I'm Andy Summers from 92.5 XTU in Philadelphia. And we are here with our special guest in the middle of his beautiful acreage, Jon Pardi. How are you?
I'm good. So here working.
Well, we appreciate you taking a little bit of time to talk to us about some of your other work. Which is more work for you? Being on the farm, getting that stuff done, or making music and being up there on stage?
It's all work, but I like the combination of it all together because it never gets old. By the time I'm sick of driving a tractor or working on fences or just doing all the stuff, even construction, I can go in. It gears me to go want to write songs so I can chill out. And like a lot of time when I'm doing manual stuff, manual labor, you're thinking about songs, you're listening to songs. So that helps a lot, like with the this and that of songwriting. And when you're singing about a guy who works, you feel more like you're the guy.
Yeah, for sure. And you definitely fit the bill. That's one of the great things about country music, right? Is that it is this personal. It's not that you're writing about someone else, someone that you just think is the guy. You are the guy.
I like to think that, but I'm also an artist too. So it helps the whole kind of idea of songwriting. But there's no, that's just my way. Other people have ways that work like crazy. So
sure. Before we get into some of your songs, I just want to say congratulations. You have a baby due any minute now. So I feel like, are you like on baby watch? Do you have your bag packed, and this summer have her bag packed and ready to rock?
She has her bags. My bag's not that important. She went to the doctor and the doctor said it's going to come later. And it's her first baby. My first baby too, but we have so many friends that have had babies. So it's like we have full on baby hotlines of what to do and what, if we need advice on anything. But yeah, she's getting induced Friday. So I think that's when we're all going to go to the hospital.
Okay. That's very exciting.
It could be tonight. You never know.
You never know. Could be right now. Who knows?
Yeah.
It'll make it that much more exciting watching this. Mm-hmm. All right, so let's dive right into it. First song, I asked you to choose 3 songs that you wrote that we can talk about. And the first one is from 2015, which was your first #1 song. Congratulations on that. Head Over Boots. Let's talk about this.
Well, I'll take a minute to talk about the whole 2015. 2015 was a year for me that my first album, never got #1. It never really did much, but it did a lot when it comes to long term. But at the time, I was on tour with Alan, and I had a little bit of time off besides touring, so I was writing a lot. I was also going down to Texas to see my friends and my dad. My dad lives down there and outside of San Antonio, and he brought me to a Texas dance hall, and I sat and had some beers and, fully got in, just fully absorbed a dance hall in middle of nowhere, Texas. And it's packed and people are dancing to songs, and they were dancing to any song. They get out and like dance to a sad Merle Haggard song or some sad song that didn't really involve like love or the reason why to dance. So it was just a lot of dancing and having a good time. So the next morning I got up, had a cup of coffee, and I grabbed my guitar and I just started, in my mind, I wanted a song that they would play at that dance hall, or every dance hall, and every dance hall dance place around the world. And I just started strumming a good kind of, 2-stepping beat and just saying, I want to sweep you off feet tonight. I want to love you and hold you tight. Spin you around some old dance floor. And that's all I had. It was that the ba 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 ba, singing dummy lyrics. And I wrote it and kind of just listened to it. I said, man, there's something special about that melody. And I said, I know just the guy to write this with. And at a time, like 2014, I think I just met Luke Laird. And Luke said he was a big fan of the first record. And I was like, awesome. So we wrote a couple songs before Head Over Boots, and I brought it to him, and we just knocked it out apart. I mean, I think we wrote it in like 2 hours, and I somehow fumbled up with Head Over Boots as a title. Never had the title in Texas, but I had that idea. And sometimes when I'm writing, I feel like we may have an idea of no title, and you get it as you're writing it, instead of starting with a title and this is what we're doing. But also I've done the same where we started with the title and it ends up, another as a different song. But that was the origin of Head Over Boots.
Yeah, I love that. And you can kind of feel it too, right? Like when I listen to that song, not knowing that story, that's the story it tells me.
Yeah.
Which I think is pretty cool.
And now the dance floor is packed every time they play that song. So goal was achieved.
That's good stuff. So did you write that before you met Summer?
Yes. But the weird world of songwriting, if you're the guy in the song, sometimes it'll take you to that life, so you just never really know. Yeah,
absolutely. It's like you wrote your own destiny.
Sometimes it's weird like that, weird energy.
Okay, next up, this next song is from 2019, one of my favorite Jon Pardi songs, Heartache Medication.
So remember when I was talking about where you didn't have a title and you can just write the idea and the title will come? Well, I had a title on this one, and I had it for a while, and I liked Heartache Medication. I was like, man, like drinking, like alcohol. Yeah, love me some beer or like whatever. But it was Heartache Medication. You go back to all the kind of drinking your sorrows away ideas. There's 10 million of those kind of songs in country music. But Heartache Medication kind of stood alone because it wasn't like, I'm drinking, blah, blah, or drinking my baby goodbye, blah, blah. I mean, I do like writing songs out of it. But I guess that's someone I'm talking in my head right now. I like quirky, different drinking titles. I'm going to jump ship a little bit, but recently, randomly and awesomely, Cole Swindle cut another quirky drinking title that I had called Drink-A-Bye. So, and that it's not the same idea, but I'm going to go back to Heartache Medication. There's two different quirky kind of drinking songs that have, I think, titles that stand by themselves, and you don't know what they are until you got to listen to it. And Heartache Medication, you kind of know it, but you want to see it. And I wanted a really like 1980s style of Keith Whitley or George Strait. And I always wanted to write a Full Heart of Memory. And right when we wrote, it was just me and acoustic guitar, Natalie Hemby and Barry Dean. And I brought out the title. We're going through titles. And I told Natalie and Barry, I was like, man, I got this Heartache Medication title. She goes, oh my God, I love that title. And sometimes, I say as songwriters or co-writers, we bounce back of each other. So all you need is somebody like, that's it. And you're like, okay, we're going to write it, because you can get in your own head. Like, is it good? Are people going to like it? Which is a tough place. But if you got good co-writers that kind of push you, and Natalie definitely did that. And I mean, I think we wrote that song maybe an hour and a half.
Wow.
Threw a work tape down, solo guitar, and in my head, I heard the fiddle kicking off the band, and just, another kind of dancing groove. I love dancing grooves. I want people to dance and laugh and have a great time, because I always think of the live factor too. And I remember recording it. I remember tracking it in the studio and just hearing it come to life, hearing the 1980s style of the George Strait and the Keith Whitley come together. And I think it's recently gone double platinum. This song itself. Yeah, I think so. And it just blows my mind sometimes when you have a goal and you think, oh, that's not working in country music. but then it happens and it's one of your biggest songs. So I don't know. You just never know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it definitely works. What the other thing that I love about it, besides that it's just catchy, it's got a great title, is that it's a heartbreak song. I mean, so really when you're thinking about it, it's this upbeat, up-tempo song it's a heartbreak song. So it's, it plays both sides of it a little bit there.
It's kind of a heartbreak guiding song. Like you're going through a heartbreak. Here's your instructions, go dance, go get some drinks, go meet people, have a good time. And it's definitely one of our, people ask me, what's your favorite or biggest song playing live? And I mean, Rhett Akins was on a retreat with me. Well, I love Rhett. He was watching the show. He goes, damn, Jon, they sure get down to Heartache Medication. We need to write another Heartache Medication. And I was like, that's just not that easy. But it is a foot stomper and another kind of a dancey feel when we play it live. And that fiddle kicks it off, and it says, it snags you right at the top.
Yeah. So for those people that don't know, Rhett Akins is Thomas Rhett's dad. He was an artist in his own right back in the 90s. And I know that music played such a huge influence in your life. I remember hearing a story, and tell me if I have this right, that when you were in preschool, the teacher asked what your name was, and you would always come up with a different name. Yeah.
I said I was Merle Haggard for a long time. I was Randy Travis, and I was George Strait quite a bit. That's who I came to preschool as, full cowboy. I mean, ready to go.
That is amazing. This is How I Wrote the Song. Jon Pardi, our special guest, and now we're up to our third one. And speaking of Rhett Akins, he was a co-writer on this with you, and Luke Laird, who you referred to earlier. And this song is from 2021. And I swear, Jon, all of your songs, I don't know if you've done this yet, but I think that your next project should be a cocktail menu, because all of your songs make great drink titles. So this is Tequila Little Time.
I told you I like the quirky drinking titles. They're fun. Well, to this, this is all due to Rhett Akins, and we're having writer block. We had writer's block. We wrote like 4 songs on this retreat, and this was our 5th and last because they were about to go. They're going to fly out. I think later that evening. And we're waiting around and strumming, vibing, trying to figure, something out. And I could have swore, I mean, as I remember, it was dead silent. Like we were in the middle of what we call a co-stare, not co-writing, co-staring into nothing to say. And Rhett out of nowhere goes, Tequila Little Time. I want a tequila little time with you. And I was like, yes, we are writing this. And for a long time, I wanted to include horns in a song. And right after, right in there, I was like, we could put horns on it. It's kind of Spanish flair to it, and it'll just be great. It'll be kind of have a beach vibe or just a water vibe or just, a fun vibe. And that was another one we wrote very quickly. And then we worked on the work tape. And it was another, this guy's just out having a good time. And, we wanted to kind of have like a hero setting where, he sees a girl kind of down and, hey, talking to her, kind of figuring it out, maybe throwing some lines, a couple shots of tequila, and I want tequila a little time with you. That's how it all came about on that.
Yeah, well, it's great stuff. Great stuff. And like I said, would make a great cocktail as well. So if you were making a Tequila Little Time, besides tequila, what would go in that, Jon Pardi?
Well, some party batch whiskey, definitely. Got to throw it in there. We definitely made some heartache medications because once we do like a bourbon thing or a whiskey thing, anywhere when we get like a mixologist, what we call them, but like they're like the specialty bartenders, but they're very genius in how they can make stuff taste. And so we'll do a couple drink menus with with the whiskey and bourbon. So I think I need to get a tequila here soon so we can have a tequila drink. But
there you go.
Yeah, no, definitely fun. And I do, I do like to party, but I work hard too, because I like to feel like I deserve to party instead of just partying all the time.
Well, since COVID hit and when everything shut down and we were doing Zoom calls with a couple of the artists and stuff, you were one of them. And I remember you were coming right off your acreage then and sitting down and getting to hang out with us. So I know this is not just for show. This is definitely what you do.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is going after this is right back to the tractor, and so many trees here in Tennessee. So we're almost done. So and this is a hard season to work outside. It's, I heard somebody call it mud season. It's definitely mud season here in Tennessee. So it makes it a little hard to get a bulldozer around. But, I just, like I said, it rounds me off from songwriting to touring. It gives me a mental break. And it's rewarding working outside or doing a project, because you're done when you're done. And I feel like in the music business, you're never done. I'm never done. I never want to be done. I never want to feel like I've peaked. I never want to feel like I've mastered anything. You can always learn. You can always be better. So, but when you're done with the project, you're just done.
There you go. You could check that one off then, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jon Pardi, you are a pleasure. Best of luck with the new baby. I hope that Summer's feeling well and that you guys, I'm just going to pray for lots of rest for you, because you're going to need that.
Yeah. Summer's been awesome. She's been super healthy and active. She's walked the driveway a day. It's like she was made to make babies. But she is ready to get this baby out of her. I tell you, there's one thing. Yeah. She's at the very uncomfortable stage right now. So we're ready.
That's awesome. Well, best of luck to you. Thank you again so much for joining us. This is How I Wrote That Song. Thanks to our sponsors, HD Radio, BMI, and Beasley Media Group. I'm Andy Summers, and that's Jon Pardi, and that is how he wrote that song.
Oh, thank you.